Today, People magazine reports that Justin has been pursuing Katy since that first date in Montreal this past summer.
When rumors first linked Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry, many dismissed them as tabloid fiction. But now, shocking new revelations suggest there might be more truth than anyone imagined. After months of silence, Trudeau has finally broken his quiet stance, and what he admitted left everyone stunned. From secret yacht sightings to insider whispers,
all of this comes after new photos emerged this weekend showing Katy and Justin looking extremely cozy on her yacht. It's since been revealed
the truth behind their connection is far deeper than it seemed. Stay tuned, because this confession changes everything. The unexpected pairing. The sight of Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry together sent shockwaves through both political and entertainment circles. On one side stood the polished, charismatic former Canadian Prime Minister, a man once hailed as the youthful face of modern leadership. On the other was Katy Perry, the bold and colorful pop queen who had shaped global pop culture for over a decade. No one expected their names to appear in the same sentence, yet here they were, seated across from each other at Montreal's elite restaurant, Le Violon, laughing and talking like old friends. The dinner, reportedly casual, did not stay private for long. Photos surfaced online, and within hours, gossip columns lit up. Was it a friendly dinner, a political meeting, or something deeper? Days later, the curiosity only intensified when Trudeau was seen attending Perry's concert in Vancouver, accompanied by his daughter, Ella Grace. Observers couldn't help but notice the warmth in their interactions backstage. Trudeau appeared relaxed, even glowing, a far cry from his usual reserved political demeanor. For those who have followed Trudeau's public image, this seemed unusual. Known for his measured tone and disciplined appearance, he rarely let personal life blend with public attention. But insiders hinted there was more beneath the surface. They both need a boost, and it may be a mutually beneficial thing, a source told a media outlet. The idea of them being seen together outside of political or professional contexts made headlines across Canada and beyond. Social media exploded with opinions ranging from disbelief to amusement. Memes flooded timelines, while others speculated that there might be something heartfelt developing. What made this pairing so fascinating was the sheer contrast between them. A leader who once governed a nation and a singer whose career thrived on breaking rules and redefining norms. As cameras continued to follow their every move, the public started asking one question: what had changed in Justin Trudeau's life that made him open to such an unexpected bond? Was this connection born out of friendship, shared values, or something far more personal? Let's look closer at Justin Trudeau's own personal journey, the cracks in his marriage, the pressures of power, and the choices that led him here. Because hidden within his personal life lies the answer to how this unexpected story truly began. Justin's marriage and separation. Justin Trudeau's marriage to Sophie Gregoire Trudeau was once seen as a modern fairy tale. They met in 2003, long before Justin became Prime Minister, and their connection seemed genuine and warm. Sophie, a former television host and charity advocate, was intelligent, confident, and deeply rooted in family values. Together, they embodied the image of a youthful, progressive couple, open-minded, compassionate, and in love. When they married in 2005, Canada celebrated the union of two people who seemed destined to stand together on the world stage. For nearly 2 decades, Sophie was not just Justin's partner, but his greatest supporter. She was there at every crucial moment, smiling by his side during campaign rallies, comforting him during controversies, and proudly walking hand in hand through political milestones. Their marriage appeared strong, filled with shared laughter, 3 beautiful children, and a deep sense of partnership. The family's public appearances often gave the impression of harmony. Trudeau's affectionate posts about Sophie and their children on social media painted the picture of a loving father and husband. But behind the perfect smiles and polished photographs, things were changing. As Trudeau's political career intensified, the weight of public life grew heavier. Long hours, international trips, and the pressure of leading a nation took their toll. Sources close to the couple revealed that Sophie felt increasingly isolated. The constant scrutiny of being Canada's First Lady meant every word, outfit, and gesture was analyzed by the media. Meanwhile, Trudeau's schedule left little time for personal connection. By 2023, small cracks had turned into unbridgeable gaps. On August 2, 2023, Trudeau and Sophie announced they were separating after 18 years of marriage. The news stunned the public. For many Canadians, their relationship had symbolized stability in uncertain times. Trudeau released a calm and respectful statement, calling the decision mutual and emphasizing their shared commitment to co-parenting their children, Xavier, Ella Grace, and Hadrian. Sophie later opened up in interviews, describing the separation as something that hurt deeply. She reflected on how society tends to label marriages as successes and separations as failures. Her honesty struck a chord with many, revealing the emotional cost of living a life under the spotlight. Reports from insiders suggested that their split was not rooted in scandal, but in gradual emotional distance. Trudeau's endless responsibilities and the constant demand to appear strong for the public had left little room for vulnerability or repair. Still, the timing of their separation raised eyebrows. It came just as Trudeau was entering a phase of personal and political transition. His once soaring popularity was dipping, and he appeared more introspective in public appearances. Observers noted that he seemed both exhausted and searching, as if trying to rediscover the man behind the politician. What drew these two together, and how did their worlds collide at such a vulnerable time in Trudeau's life? The answer lies in the story of who Katy Perry really is, a woman whose life has been just as dramatic, passionate, and unpredictable as his own. Katy Perry's life and career till meeting Trudeau. Katy Perry's journey from a church choir girl to one of the most recognizable pop stars in the world is a story of bold reinvention. Born Catherine Elizabeth Hudson on October 25, 1984, in Santa Barbara, California, she was raised in a strict religious environment. Both her parents were Pentecostal pastors who kept her away from most mainstream music. Her childhood revolved around faith, family, and gospel singing, and for years she believed her destiny lay in Christian music. At just 16, she released her first album, a gospel record titled Katy Hudson. The album barely sold, but its failure became a turning point. It taught her that faith alone would not define her voice. She had something else inside her, something the church walls could not contain. She moved to Los Angeles and began exploring pop and rock music, adopting her mother's maiden name, Perry, to avoid confusion with actress Kate Hudson. That small change marked the birth of the global star the world would soon know. Her rise to fame was anything but easy. For years, she bounced between record labels, facing rejection after rejection. But in 2008, everything changed. Her album, One of the Boys, turned her into an overnight sensation, fueled by her breakout single, I Kissed a Girl. The song was daring, controversial, and unapologetic, everything Katy Perry had always wanted to be. It broke the mold, capturing the rebellious energy that had been building inside her for years. Songs like Hot and Cold and Thinking of You cemented her as a pop powerhouse who could balance playful energy with emotional storytelling. Her next album, Teenage Dream, released in 2010, catapulted her to legendary status, with chart toppers like Firework, California Girls, and Last Friday Night. She matched a record only Michael Jackson had achieved before: 5 #1 singles from the same album in the United States. The success was staggering, but it came at a price. The tours, media attention, and pressure to stay at the top began to wear her down. Katy's image evolved as she matured. She became known not only for her music but also for her vibrant fashion, emotional vulnerability, and fearless reinvention. She launched perfume lines, collaborated with brands, appeared on television as a judge on American Idol, and performed at the 2015 Super Bowl halftime show in front of millions. Her career shimmered with triumphs, but her personal life remained under constant watch. She had several high-profile relationships, most notably her marriage to comedian Russell Brand, which ended in 2012, and her long relationship with actor Orlando Bloom. Despite their on and off romance and eventual engagement, her life seemed to be in transition again. Behind her glittering stage lights and wide smiles, she was navigating questions of identity, purpose, and emotional balance. By the time 2023 arrived, Katy Perry had lived through every extreme: fame, heartbreak, success, and self-discovery. She had nothing left to prove professionally, but still seemed to be searching for something deeper, something real. It was around this time that fate placed her in the same room as a man going through his own transformation, Justin Trudeau. Both were at crossroads in their lives, and their unexpected closeness left the world shocked. speculation of an affair amid separation. For the media, it was the perfect storm. Trudeau, freshly separated from his wife, appeared more relaxed and social than ever before. Katy Perry, also navigating personal change after her very public on-and-off relationship with actor Orlando Bloom, seemed equally at a turning point. Their encounters came at a moment when both were rebuilding their personal lives, and the timing only fueled the speculation. Tabloids wasted no time labeling the connection as a midlife spark for Trudeau. Insiders quoted in the Daily Beast claimed that his newfound closeness with Perry represented a form of escape, a way to rediscover excitement and emotional warmth after years of political strain. They described him as a man craving connection outside the world of politics, while others saw him as a public figure trying to rebrand himself after a difficult chapter in his personal life. On Perry's side, things were just as complex. She had spent years in the public eye, balancing fame, motherhood, and the expectations of being one of pop music's biggest stars. Reports suggested she admired Trudeau's intellect and calm personality, finding comfort in his grounded presence. Yet skeptics were quick to dismiss the rumors, calling it an exaggerated media narrative built on coincidental meetings. Still, the idea of two influential figures, one political, one musical, forming a close bond fascinated people. The public conversation split into two camps, those who saw their connection as something genuine and refreshing, and those who viewed it as a publicity stunt. Social media was filled with theories, memes, and wild assumptions, each feeding the mystery. Neither Trudeau nor Perry directly addressed the rumors. Their silence only added to the intrigue. Each new photo, each brief sighting, sent gossip columns into overdrive. To some, they were two people healing through friendship. To others, it was the start of a secret romance blossoming away from the cameras. The fascination wasn't just about who they were, but what their connection symbolized. Two individuals from entirely different worlds meeting at a moment of deep personal transition. It blurred the line between politics and pop culture, reminding everyone how fragile the boundary between private life and public curiosity can be. But beyond all the headlines, you must be wondering, was there truth to the whispers? Or was this just another story the internet had run wild with? Stay with us, because next, we are going to tell you what Justin has really said and what his words might reveal about the truth behind their mysterious connection. Justin Trudeau finally admits the relationship. As the rumors surrounding Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry continued to swirl, the public waited for one of them to finally speak. But Trudeau, known for his polished composure and careful choice of words, remained cautious. Even after stepping back from his role as Canada's Prime Minister, he kept his private life sealed behind polite smiles and diplomatic silence. When asked about the growing rumors, Trudeau never gave a clear confirmation or denial. His responses were brief and vague, usually turning the focus back to his children or his post-political projects. For a man who had spent years in front of microphones, this silence was almost louder than any statement he could have made. It was a silence that only fueled more questions. Some tabloids claimed that Trudeau had privately referred to Katy Perry as the perfect woman, though no official record or statement ever confirmed this. The alleged quote spread quickly across gossip sites, blurring the line between fact and fiction. For many readers, it was enough to believe that something was real, even if it had never been directly said. Katy Perry, on the other hand, was equally measured. Known for her playful personality and openness, she surprisingly avoided public discussion of the rumors. She neither corrected nor confirmed any stories linking her to Trudeau. Instead, she carried on with her professional commitments, performing and appearing at events with the same radiant confidence that made her a star. But every time she appeared in Canada or was seen with mutual acquaintances, the whispers reignited. Observers began to notice a pattern. Trudeau and Perry's names often appeared together in entertainment news at moments when either of them had major public appearances or announcements. Whether intentional or not, the speculation seemed to serve them both in different ways. For Trudeau, it kept him visible during a time when he had largely stepped out of political life. For Perry, it added a layer of intrigue and maturity to her public image, moving her narrative away from the pop world into something more cosmopolitan and mysterious. Behind the scenes, political analysts and media watchers suggested that this might be a carefully managed situation. Neither of them needed to confirm anything to enjoy the attention. By remaining vague, they protected their privacy while keeping public curiosity alive. Each side maintained plausible deniability, the perfect balance of exposure and secrecy. But this balancing act came with risks. Trudeau's reputation as a global leader and family man could be questioned, while Perry's own brand, built on authenticity and emotional transparency, could be seen as contradicting her silence. Both seemed aware of what was at stake, choosing words, or the lack of them, with extreme care. As the rumors persisted, one thing became clear. Whether real or imagined, the connection between Trudeau and Perry had already changed how the public saw them. And while neither had spoken the full truth, the world was already drawing its conclusions. Now, the real question is, what happens next? With reputations, careers, and emotions entangled in one of the most unexpected rumored pairings in recent memory, how are both of them coping with the global attention? Implications for both of them. The rumored relationship between Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry has become more than a passing celebrity headline. It has become a cultural discussion about image, reinvention, and the fine line between public duty and private life. For Trudeau, a man who once represented political steadiness and progressive ideals, being linked with one of the world's most flamboyant pop stars feels like stepping into unfamiliar territory. The implications of this pairing go beyond gossip. They touch on legacy, perception, and how a former national leader chooses to live after stepping away from power. For many Canadians, Trudeau has always been more than just a politician. He was seen as a global symbol of youth, diversity, and charm, a prime minister who balanced intellect with charisma. But now, this rumored romance has added an unexpected twist to his narrative. Some see it as a natural transition, a man rediscovering himself after years of leadership and emotional strain. Supporters, however, see a different story. They describe Trudeau as a human being reclaiming his personal happiness after years of living under immense scrutiny. They see no harm in him forming a bond with someone who understands fame, pressure, and public expectations. To them, this connection represents freedom, the right to start fresh after fulfilling one of the most demanding roles in the world. For Katy Perry, the stakes are just as high, though in a different way. Her career has entered a period of transition with new pop stars dominating the charts and her sound evolving toward maturity. While her fan base remains loyal, recent reviews have questioned her relevance in a music landscape now shaped by younger, edgier voices. Being linked with a former prime minister adds an unexpected political twist to her image, one that could either refresh her public persona or weigh it down with unnecessary controversy. Some fans celebrate the pairing, calling it exciting and inspiring, a union of two strong and creative personalities. Others, however, view it with suspicion. They question the authenticity of their connection, pointing to the timing of both their separations and wondering if it is all part of a carefully managed image shift. Social media reactions range from admiration to satire, with memes labeling it the pop star meets politician era. In Canada, the conversation has taken on a deeper tone. Pundits debate what this means for Trudeau's future ambitions and whether it risks overshadowing his political achievements. The media now watches his every move, analyzing not policy decisions but personal gestures. Privacy, once a right, has become a privilege neither can easily claim. As they both navigate this complex terrain, one thing is clear: the world is watching closely. For Trudeau, this relationship could mark the start of a new chapter where he transitions from political leadership to global advocacy or media influence. For Perry, it could signal creative rebirth, pushing her toward more reflective and emotional storytelling. Together, they stand at a crossroads between public fascination and private truth. What do you think? Is this a genuine love story or just a strategic spotlight romance? Share your thoughts in the comments below.